Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on this episode of UC Tech Chat. My name is Jason Mefford. I'll be your host. I'm joined today by Matthew Hilton, Digium's Switchvox Product Marketing Manager. Today we're going to be talking about mobility and education. Today we're going to be talking about mobility and education. Matthew has a lot of great experience, so hopefully we're going to pick his brain and get some great ideas that everyone can benefit from. Matthew, to get started, let's talk about existing technology that school systems may have in place. Overhead paging, bell timers, lots of existing technology. If they're bringing in something new, can they integrate it with these new systems, and what are some things they need to be thinking about?
Yeah, so obviously the overall cost of a solution is going to be very important for any player in the space, whether you're education or otherwise. Education is unique in the fact that they do have a lot of unique technologies like bell systems and alarm systems and things like that, that they oftentimes have spent a lot of money to implement. So that can become a big concern, whether or not I have to replace everything all at once or whether or not I can kind of piecemeal my solution together. So one of the great benefits of unified communications is that you can pick and choose what functions you want to implement and when. And a lot of times they will integrate with backwards compatible technologies like bell timers and things like that. Okay. So that can certainly help with the overall cost strategy of implementing a unified communication solution.
Okay. We talk about the timing of a deployment. If you have plenty of time to deploy, it's great. But for those school systems that may have a system hit by lightning, how overwhelming is bringing in a UC solution to a new customer?
Yeah, so I mean the biggest concerns I think are usually cost and training in terms of people don't like change generally. So when you're doing a deployment in a rather quick fashion, you have to contend with whether or not you're going to be able to train your users in a quick fashion in order for them to understand and utilize the benefits of that technology. And again, that kind of goes back to unified communications as an entire package. So again, you can pick and choose what types of technologies you choose to train your employees on, whether or not they utilize certain features or functions. And so it really makes the deployment process much quicker and much faster based on your particular needs.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about some UC enhancements that if you bring in a UC technology solution that school systems can benefit from.
Sure. So in particular, mobility is a great feature that unified communications provides. And really what that boils down to is the ability to get a phone call wherever you are, whether that's on a cell phone, a desk phone, or an office somewhere else. So in education in particular, that really helps for notification for teachers and for staff that tend to move around. So if a classroom is empty, there's really no point in bringing that phone in the room because they're not there to answer it. So with mobility, you can go ahead and reach that teacher maybe in the library or when she's out on recess by sending the call to their cell phone or using a mobile application to really integrate with the solution itself. So, yeah.
Okay. What are some of the drawbacks that education customers need to be thinking about?
Sure. So the biggest drawback for me really comes down to not even the technological challenges of a unified communications solution, but really down to the costing factor when you're looking at quotes from different vendors. So different vendors will include different packages in different features in their primary quotes and in their secondary quotes. So it's difficult to understand necessarily when you're looking line by line which quote is ultimately going to save you the most money or give you the best cost solution. So really that I think is the biggest drawback, is making sure that you're understanding when you're comparing apples to apples or when you're getting different value for your price.
Okay, awesome. Excellent insights. Matthew, appreciate your time today. Thank you everyone for joining this episode of UC Tech Chat, and we'll see you next time.